So Ernest Holmes said we're born to be happy. It's already in us. We're born to be happy, to be abundantly supplied with every good thing. Now, remember, hear it right, it's not everything we want. It's every good thing for us, to be abundantly supplied with that. To have fun in living, that's up to us. To have fun and joy in what we're doing. To consciously unite with the power that is around us and within us, and to grow and expand forever. It's that last little part, the growing and expanding, that sometimes we don't feel as happy in that place as we do when we're in a place of ease and grace and joy. It says in our Science of Mind textbook, a definition of happiness is a consciousness of the goodness of God. When you have that consciousness, which reminds me of faith, it means that you find goodness even in the tough things, the hard things, the difficult things. Having a consciousness of goodness and happiness like that doesn't mean we are ignorant to the tragedies and hardships. Do any of you see any of those now? I mean, the problem I have right now, I'll just take a little bird walk here, with the world is we've advanced so much in technology. We have information. We're flying in amazing places, doing amazing things. But I don't know how well we've tackled loneliness and suffering and hardship. I don't know how well we're tackling that. And that's why we're here. Because we know that life goes around in circles, and we're little energetic beings, and when we find a greater understanding about life, even if we don't speak it to others, it's a contagiousness that lifts us up. And so that's why we're here. I see myself that God, whatever you want to call God, we all have our own relationship and understanding of God, whether it's creative energy, intelligence, wonder, awesomeness, whatever you call that God is a verb, an aliveness that wants to be expressed in, through, and as us, not just sometimes, but even in solitude, to be in aliveness to the present moment, because truly that's all we have. The only time we really have time is in this present moment. And that's why all of the teachers are telling us, be in the present, because that's where we find our goodness, our joy, our love, our possibility is right here in this moment. So that's what we want to do right now. We want to prepare for happiness. And thank you for the introduction, Em, because that was beautiful and a great way to get us in a foundation of happiness. Happiness isn't something you find. It's something you create. You create it from what you already have. It's not a destination, it's a state of mind. If we talk about the key to happiness, we have the key right now, and it's in our thought pattern, and it's the thoughts we think. And so much of us spend time in thoughts that aren't productive to our joy and our happiness. We get caught up in negative thinking. It's not the experiences that happen in our life that cause us unhappiness. Did you know that? Well, you do now. No, it's not that. It's our emotional response to those experiences. And if in the back of our mind, we know that no matter what is going on, there is a goodness there, that the situations in our life want us to grow and build our strength and our resilience and our tenacity, and they're here to help us grow. And so when we look at life and go, life, why are you doing this to me? The answer would be, I want you to be strong and resilient and adaptable to something more, to something more. So that's for us, that we can do that to get stronger. Ernest Holmes talks about, and there's a section in his writing where he talks about unhappiness and where it comes from. And he said, scientists, doctors have researched this, and they said 85% of unhappiness comes from a repression on our creativity. That's the aliveness I was talking about. We're creative beings. Whether we're creative in our silence, in our meditation, or we're creative out there in the world or wherever it is, we are creative beings. And if we repress that, unhappiness shows up. It takes great courage in this world today to be authentic and to be who you truly are. And you know, that's what we strive for. We strive to be authentic and know what is it that I should be doing and creating and being. Most people, well, I would say all people, I'll call it spiritual happiness. All people that are spiritually happy are comfortable within themselves. They know they have imperfections. They know they're not perfect, but they're not constantly trying to get something more to be happier. We can have pleasure from things out there, but the happiness comes from within. And Bill, this is what I said I was going to share about you. Bill Kramer, Elizabeth's husband, who just had a birthday, and we'll say happy birthday to her, writes a column of reflections for the St. Timothy's bulletin that comes out. And I ask him to send those to me because they're always short but very insightful messages. And this one, I just cut it down a little bit, but this one was about reflection on being holy. And he said, everything on earth gives glory to God by being itself. The rivers, the lakes, the mountains, the birds, the whales, the elephants, the clouds, the sea, the butterflies bring beauty and wonder to the world, just as they are. Unlike the trees and animals, which have no problem being exactly what God intended them to be. We humans struggle to figure out who we really are. We complicate the search by latching on to false models out there. We want to look beautiful and smart, to have money and possessions and be accepted and praised by others. And we put on all kinds of masks and costumes to hide our imperfections. Do you relate to any of that? I certainly do. Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful. And you shared a little story about yourself in that too, which was wonderful. But we do that, and instead, I mean, it's fine. We all want to be the best we can be. So yes, we want to do things, but we don't want to hide who we truly are. And so when those demons come up that tell us, you're just not enough, you are unworthy, you're undeserving of all this good and all that, stop and talk to those demons. Ask them, well, what is it you want? What do you expect? What are you trying to teach me? So we can learn and not always try to think there's something we have to fix because we're not good enough the way we are. We want to let that happiness be restored, you know, and that always trying to find something better and more. We're always comparing ourselves to life in general. Something's better or best or more. And we want it. We want to be that, so we'll be better. And that constant search causes stress and anxiety and unhappiness inside of us that we're not enough. You know, I heard about a priest was sharing a story that he went in to visit, and this was, of course, many years ago, but he went in to visit a man who was dying of AIDS, and he was in the hospital and was very, very close to the end of his life. And he sat with him and he said, I'm sure you are really, really suffering. And the man, who was very, very close to death, said, actually, I'm not. 6 months ago, my doctor told me that I had, 5.5 months ago, my doctor told me I had 6 months to live. And it was at that time I changed my mind. I had lived in worry and upset and anxiety and so much unhappiness about what I'd done and what I did. I gave it up, and I was free. And I've been happy and joyous and peaceful ever since. Just a thought. What could you let go of right now? What expectation on yourself or someone else or something else could you let go of right now to be happier? One thing Kirk and I do practically every night, not every night, but most nights, is we listen to the 30-minute evening news, you know, the little snip of what's going on in life, because we want to know what's going on in the world. And it always ends with a good news report. And that's usually if not always, the best part of the news. But one came up this week that was so applicable. So we were watching, we switch off between Lester Holt and David Muir and 4 and 7 and listen to him, but this was on Channel 7.
Finally tonight here, the little fisherman who is definitely America Strong.
I got one.
Wes, you got a big one.
Keep going. Keep going, reel it in.
I got a big one.
In Denmark, Maine, on Moose Pond on a hot summer day, 4-year-old West fishing for the very first time. Watch as West feels something bite. His first catch, his family cheering him on.
It's a big one. You caught a huge fish.
Wow! That's a good one.
Proud of his catch, the high fives. And before letting go, West saying goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Tonight, his family telling us West reminds us all not to take any small moments for granted. We should all try to see life through the eyes of a child once in a while, they told us. And tonight, that family saying West is already planning to fish again.
What?
Soon fishing again. He caught the bug and the fish.
I think it's really important that we re-examine what made us happy as a child, to re-examine what makes children naturally happy, because that's in us, to be playful and fun. And that little boy, his first time fishing, and the support and love of the family, it's beautiful. Because actually, I think the greatest happiness comes when we share with others, when we're there together. Goodness is contagious, happiness is contagious, and when we share. And as I said, making the world a better place, all of us here do that, and we go out and meet so many people in the world with the same desire and the same wish. This is something I've read before, but I for some reason it was in my notebook and I thought it was applicable for right now. Remembering we're all part of one another. So our happiness can certainly uplift others. And we can uplift them and they can uplift us. But even taking it to the next level, only when we have the courage to cross the road and look in someone else's eyes can we see there that we are all children of the same God and members of the same family, building connections. Happy people don't look at their flaws, they count their blessings. And the one thing to do today to bring more happiness in your life and the life of those around you is count your blessings and think of the things you are happy for. This quote says, happiness is letting go of happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to be and celebrating it for everything it is. So in that understanding, I want you just to think right now, what is it you are grateful for? What is it right now? So you can leave with a heart full of joy of what we have and not what we're trying to get. Remember, happy people count their blessings and love themselves. It takes courage to be happy. It does. A lot of people are more comfortable in kind of marinating in unhappiness and what they don't have, instead of standing as, I am grateful, I am intelligent, I do well here, I am powerful, I am loving. Stand in that. Sometimes it can be very uncomfortable to make that stand. We want to sit down. Do you know how hard my life is? Yes, I do. We all do. Remember those tragedies are working on us to build our strength and our resilience and our adaptability, and oftentimes they break us open to release the something more that's within us. So I want you right now to just put your feet on the floor like you do and stand up. I thought I did something different. We're just going to say something. Stand up for a minute. We're going to stand in our own happiness right now. Right now, we're going to stand in it. It's all around it. It's through us. We're going to release it. I accept my happiness right now. I love my life. I let go. I let go. I let go of those thoughts and things that bring me unhappiness. I let go of the past. I look forward to this moment. Because right here, God is, love is, life is, happiness is, and I am, and we are. And thank you so much for being here, making the world a better place. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.